pre-Fraser Island trip. We got some quality product off 4-wheel drive detail, sand, salt and seal. Get on it, it's good product. I'm going to apply it to the car. We've also got chassis shield. Keeps all the sand, salt off the car, thus preventing rust. So you mix it up per the guidelines. So we've got a bucket, because I've got the other stuff mixed in a pressure. It says to mix 50 to 80 ml to a litre, and you can mix it stronger. It says mix up a total of 500. It allows you to get more washes per box, or per bottle. So 50 to 80 mils for a litre, and I've got 5 litres, so I'm needing 400 ml. And this goes on the outside of the car. It's just their pre-wash. It's just their pre-wash. Prepares, it seals your paint, keeps the salt. Salt and water equals rust. You can put it on by hand, and you can put it on with a pressure cannon. I've got to get a hose for it.
So this is where we're staying anyway, these guys are really good. Beautiful park. And there he is working away down there at the end, but they are just lovely people. They've been nice enough to lend us a hose and let us do this out the front of the park, which most places could possibly say, yeah, nah, go away, you're not going to be using our water or whatever, because we only pay for our site fees. It includes our water, but I think this is a bit extra. So some caravan parks don't like you to wash your car and whatnot with extra water. So I think it was a really lovely gesture. So cheers to the guys here. David's in there. I don't know what he's doing.
Can you grab that?
He's being a garden gnome. I think he needs my assistance. Oh God, he's launching it at me. Righto.
I'm trying to get it in there.
Look at his style. There's another one of their workers down there. Constantly on the go, these guys. They're just, it's a brilliant park to stay in. I can't say too much more about it really, apart from it's brilliant.
Can you fill that bucket, please?
The hose doesn't reach. The hose doesn't reach. I have. Oh, well, it was stuck. So this is how we function, guys. Yep. Yep. So we are a little uncoordinated, like we keep showing you in our videos and obviously our photos if you look at us on our other social media stuff. So step one, scrub-a-dub-dub.
This pressure hose will do it manually. Don't matter, as long as it gets on and it gets into the car. Paintwork preserves it, keeps all the salt off it.
Just coming up like a normal car wash, really.
Yeah. Just get all the areas covered that you think's going to get exposed to salt. It's just like a normal wash, really.
So we're about halfway through, guys. So you put it on, let it sit for 5 minutes and hose it off.
Stage 1 complete.
Halfway. Half a car. I've got the back and this side, probably a couple of touch-up points. I don't know how we're going to get up and do the roof because of the rhino rack. It's going to cause us a bit of a problem, I think. But anyway,
We've got to get it into the back where all the salt is left in the back bunker bar.
We'll keep going.
Stage 1. So that's stage 1 complete. That's salt seal on and rinsed off as bottles directions tell you to, creating a hydrophobic bond between the car and the salt water, and the car does feel rather slippery.
So's my hands.
So it allows for the salt and the water just to slip off the surface, a bit like a silicone type non-stick, a bit like a non-stick pan, if you like. It's quite slippery. Allow it to dry. It will look watermarked, so you will need to wash it down with a hand polish it, just with a dry towel after all of this. Next step is to put stage 2, which is a salt eliminator. Again, that's a spray I've mixed up in a 5 litre bottle under there. I'll get under the underside of it. I'll get into all the shocks and chassis and exposed steel areas there. You can't spray it on any moving part like a brake. It will cause problems. But the idea is to get under it, get it all over the steel areas, metal exposed areas, the sand and salt. You let that one flush with fresh water again. So we'll get under there with a hose and flush it all off. Let that dry. And the third stage is actual hand pump and spray on the surface, and that bonds and seals in a 24-hour, 48-hour period. And you're all set to go on the beach. Your car's virtually salt waterproof and sandproof. Good product, 4wdetail, get on it.
So what's stage 2?
This spray. Chassis shield.
Chassis shield.
No, this is salt eliminator. Salt eliminator stage 2. I'll get some water.
Salt eliminator. So it's a spray for your chassis. Can't see real well in there. But anyway, just try and show you the other side maybe. So we're just doing it bit by bit, obviously, not trying to do the whole thing all at once. There we go, can you see that? Up in there.
What you're doing under here is you're preparing all the metal surfaces in your chassis, a surface for the third and final product to be applied, which forms a kind of like a Teflon base, as you like, on the car, which further eliminates any salt from forming or any sand from sticking. You've got to flush it liberally with fresh water. Make sure all the product's off.
You can't get it on your exhaust either.
No.
Because it, what's it do? Heats up and can catch on fire.
Potential to catch fire, but it's not reported.
That's why we're just doing a little bit at a time. We're not professionals at this.
It's certainly clean.
When we...
You want to get it in your chassis hole as well, which I've done, just to get any, to catch anything in there. I've got another product on order. It's called the chassis cleaner. It's a little magnet from it magnetised to the side of the car, attaches to a garden hose, and actually gets inside 360 degrees inside your chassis rail to clean all the nasties out from a day in the mud or on the beach. I'll do a product review of that when I get it.
So we're no way at all professionals at doing this. couple of nurses on the road doing our best.
So we let that dry.
So yeah, a couple of nurses on the road doing our best to live our best life. And when we bought the car, we bought it new. Neither of us are mechanically minded, obviously. We're not too bad with people, but cars were pretty useless really. So we had it all rust-proofed, dipped when we bought it. We had the upholstery covered, we've got paint protection and all that bells and whistles. But going in the freezer, we just thought a little bit extra protection for our little workhorse. Nicknamed Max. So he's had a fair bit of work so far on the road. Got a couple of bush pinstripes on him, if you can see that along here. Oh, there's a nice one. So yeah, he's got a few little dents and whatnot, but he's not too bad. We've got all the services have been done on it. This big dent here was done when we got the snorkel put on. So any of the modifications like the snorkel, and all the lights, side rails, the roof racks, awnings, yada yadas, we've added all that. When we bought it, he was just a mid-range standard D-Max. He's now doing the back section. I've got it on the exhaust, so I'm going to spray it liberally with fresh water. Once I've done this, it's on the exhaust. But if you hit it with fresh water, it'll, as it's not dried yet, it'll come off quite well. If you want to do any sort of externals as well, it can be used externally as well as under the car. Just all those areas you think it's going to get hit by salt and killed by salt. Better to get on it before it starts, because prevention's better than cure. And we're certainly doing our best here. We've got all the right gear, all the right kit to make sure that it lasts as long as it wants. Well, it's not going to be a professional job because we're not professionals. It's the first time we've tried it, so we might get better every time we apply it, but you know. It's something that we can do routinely now, I guess. You do it pre-trip and after trip. Once you come off the beach, you just do it again. Just washes all the crap off, the sand, silt. Geez, this is a bit of a bloody wild old video. But, I don't know. We're just trying to mix it up a bit, show you a bit what we do. A day in the life of 2 aged care nurses travelling Australia. We've actually got to go to work this afternoon. It's our last shift for the week and we get 2 days off. So we've got a bit of organising and whatnot, trying to work out what we actually need to take to the beach or the island. We've never driven on sand before, so we're really throwing ourselves in at the deep end and going on the world's biggest sand island. So, hey? K'gari, Fraser Island, yeah. So we're both pretty keen, getting more excited the closer it gets and the more prep we're doing, the realer it's getting, I suppose. I'm a little bit anxious about how we're going to go. I asked David this morning to make sure all our insurances are going to cover us for what we're going to be doing over there, like driving on the sand and that. I want to just have that surety that everywhere we take the car we are covered with our insurance, where we've clubbed 4x4, which is a Pat Callahan insurer. I think it's governed by Pat Callanan, isn't it?
Owned by Pat Callahan.
Hey?
Pat Callahan owns it.
Club 4x4. Well, there you go. Pat Callanan owns Club 4x4. So,
Making sure you get it all off the exhaust. Flush, flush, flush and flush. Right, stage 2 complete to a degree.
what about the middle?
Yeah.
It's just doing along the middle of the chassis now. So we've done the back, the front, and now he's just doing the middle section.
Good opportunity to inspect the underbody to see if there's anything under there that needs fixing or replacing.
Washing Cameron Corner off, is it? Is it still spraying? Over the
Can I get the hose, please?
I'll prep him for his next spray. Looks like it's
mud
getting...
coming out?
Hey?
You see the mud coming out? Drainage holes. See all the mud? See how it's formed like a sticky, shiny sticky surface?
Mm-hmm.
That's the next product to form. See the mud coming up?
It's wrapped around you.
Not much I can do about it.
And back around the other side to do the other side. Middle bit. I don't know. Do you do the joints? How are you going to hose that off? You're going to do all the doors. You've got to do under the door then.
What comes for us,
Funny. How are you going to lay down here? It's all wet.
I know.
Are you going to do all the doors or just that one? Should you do the whole door if you're doing...
This is still part of the door.
Hey?
Alright. Takes a touch of salt depending on it. Gotta wait for it to dry because the third product's a spray on.
Well, you can do the other two doors?
Yeah.
And what about the tailgate? You can drop it too?
Yeah.
And what about the inside of the bonnet?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And last product.
This is
Chassis shield.
This is your final product. So this is a spray on a leave-on. It says hydro underbody sealant. So you want this liberally sprayed on all your chassis. Do not put on mechanical part, brakes, because it forms a Teflon surface and the components of those will wear out. You leave this 24 to 48 hours, it stays on the car, it hardens up. So it's just an easy spray on and probably the best product I've seen. 4-wheel drive detail. Get on it. We're gonna spray it up.
Looked like you had worms then.
Spray it up. All on the chassis. Any parts you reckon salt's gonna get on it. And like I said, it's a spray and leave. This is the last step of it all.
Oh, it stinks. We should have done the shovel that's on the roof. It's getting rusty. But hopefully that took us 2 hours from start to finish. And hopefully it'll protect one of our biggest investments a little bit. As David said before, prevention's better than cure. So we're just trying our best to
And you
look
always
after
keep
it.
on top of your salt. Because we all know salt cures.
Anyway,
That's it.
that's it. Done, dusted.
Job done.
Fraser Island on the 19th. So, anyway, I'm going to go and make some lunch. Worked up an appetite.